All right, I greet you lovers of freedom. This young man here, I don't know if you guys know him. Bovi. He's a comedian. Bovi. You know one thing about truth. You can hide truth for some time. You cannot hide truth for eternity. Truth can only be hidden for some time, but you can never hide truth for eternity. Here, he narrated what transpired, what happened during Biafra War, how people from Ahaba, which is today Asaba, how they came out en masse to welcome Nigerian troops. Getting there, they buy them. Where touched me, he said he read the history. He even said, if you doubt what he's saying, he said you should go. He mentioned either the name of the library or the book that this account was written in USA. Now, when he said this, so US, they are aware of what really happened. They even documented it. They are aware of what happened during Biafra War, and they documented it. He referred people who will come up to doubt him to the book in one of the library in USA. So you should go there, do your own findings. That what he's saying here is what is how will I put it now? That what he said in this very video is documented in USA. Where touched me is where he said after they buy the people, the male children, or the male, starting from elderly to I've forgotten the years he mentioned. After they buy them, they reserve some, dug a very big grave, commanded those people they didn't buy, to push them into that big grave they dug, and asked them to cover them. He said in the book he read, he said one guy is part of the people that we are, covering the grave, that man's grave. He saw the brother. The brother was still alive. The brother told him, I am alive. Do you want to bury me also? The guy was looking at the brother. Nigerian troops were behind him, pointing gun at him, commanded him to cover the grave. He covered his brother alive. He covered his brother alive. It touched me. It's so sad. So sad. It's so sad. Covered the brother alive. The brother said, called his name. I'm alive. Don't cover me. Help me. Save my life. The brother wanted to save the life, but Nigerian soldiers are at his back, pointing gun at him and commanded him to cover the brother. In other words, he buried his brother alive. This is the kind of atrocity. This is the kind of inhuman or inhumanity to man that Nigerian government melted on Igbos. And up to date, Igbos have not seen it. They are even begging Igbos to honor May 30th. Whereas Rwanda, their own genocide, was it 800,000 people were died? But in our own case, millions. If you read account on how most of our people died, you will shed tears. Some na hunger, starvation, agụgide mmadụ gụgbuo onye ahụ nwụọ. Mgbe ihe na-aza na agụgide mmadụ gụgbuo ya nwụọ, hunger by person. This is what we experienced. And some people, if we are talking about Biafra, they will be doing as if people who are talking about Biafra are jobless people or people who don't get sense. Your own people, we are starved to death. Now the question is, what are you going to do to appease the spirit of those people that are? Is it not for you to make sure that what led to their untimely death, which is Biafra, you restore it for them? This is what same people ought to be thinking, or ought to understand, that the only way they can appease the spirit of their flesh and blood that was by, or that we abide in cold blood, is to restore Biafra, to honor them, to let them know that their death was not in vain. If you are telling an average Igbo man or second or business Kemba, the same business they are destroying today, he is running helter-skelter. The same business, they are destroying that same business today. The same business that made you to forget your flesh and blood that we abide in the 60. And the reason why they buy them is this thing you are facing today is what they faced, and they said, no, we can't stand this intimidation. We can't stand this oppression. We can't stand this subjugation. We cannot remain in one Nigeria. You are destroying our properties, burning our houses. Any slightest provocation, you start buying us. We can't stand this. Let's have our own nation. Moreover, we are not one. We are one courtesy of Lugard and Britain. We are not one before. It was these people that came and joined us together. We cannot just remain silent because they join us together and you are buying and destroying our businesses. Instead of that, man, we have to have our own nation called Biafra. They took that decision. They were abide. They were starved to death. That same thing that made them to take that decision, today we are facing it. Today you are seeing it. What are you doing? In the 60s, they said no. They can't stand this. Even now that justice is on our side, instead of you to say no, this Biafra that made Nigeria to buy our people, this time around we'll achieve it, whatever it will take us. And the same thing that made our people to take that decision to opt out for Biafra, you are seeing it today. What are you doing? Complain, lament, and continue again. For how long? It looks as if Nigeria is the principalities and power fashioned against Biafra or Ndigbo. You will build their business, build their business, build their business. You know, at a point, they will come, destroy everything. You will start afresh. This is what we are seeing. The same people that sold land to Igbo people. You cannot tell me that most of these buildings and estates that Lagos State are destroying, that the same Lagos State didn't grant or didn't give them approval. They must pay some certain money to government. They gave them approval. Today, they are destroying it. They are destroying it. You are seeing it. In our fear and For how long? Ruole mgbe. Ụmụ Igbo ruole mgbe. In Igbo philosophy, there will be a stage or at a point in which you will torment an Igbo person or say, you know, ọwala akwa kutiwa ihe ga-emeta ihe ga-emechi ya meta. That philosophy is no longer in Igbos. If Reha Mechi make it happen today is no longer there. Rather, the Igbo have reduced themselves to begging. I beg, begging. Even as you are begging, they are still destroying your businesses. Even while begging, they are depriving you opportunities. Even while begging, they will borrow money, come back and share the money, share the loan without allocating any to Igbos. While you are still begging, oh, at what point will you Igbo say enough is enough? Abruzi akwa, kaitiwa, keha, go be once and for all. No. Selfish interests have beclouded our sense of reasoning. Hey, thank God in order to hand on my side. Thank God. Hey, thank God in order to hand on my side. Thank God in order to hand my side. Yeah, thank you, good God in order to hand on your side. One day will on your side. These people, they destroy their businesses in Festac and their houses in Festac. Was it on Sunday or Monday? When the one that happened somewhere there, they will say, thank God. Hey, thank God, no man on our side. Oh, thank God. Finally, it has happened to your side. And as it happens to this very side, some people will still be thanking God. Thank God. Thank God it never reached our side. Last, it will still reach your side. Why can't Igbos take this decision once and for all? Once and for all. I saw this thing Ebukobi is doing. I watched how Igbos are donating billions. I was asking myself, some people, and Biafra, if we are talking about Biafra, they don't send though. That's none of their business. So you'll be asking yourself, does it mean that Igbos don't have money again? But right there, even people from USA, I don't know if it is 4 billion they donated. The people from UK, they donated 2 billion. If we are talking about Biafra, happy and tire. Tomorrow, in Biafra, they will come back and tell you how they are gynecologists for USA for 40 years. The one of UK will tell you how I have been an economist for how many years. Hey, wanna billions. J donate na unuke bukobi. Building without foundation. Building on top of nothing. On top of nothing. One single policy. Over. One single policy. It will frustrate everything. When if you reason Igbo matter self like this, you go the harsh. You go the harsh. I want you guys to watch. Peace and love. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. If it interests you, if how we are propagating this gospel interests you, like and share the video. It will take nothing from you. It will take nothing from you. Subscribe to the page. I greet you all. Peace and love.
I won't give you a gist. In 1967, the Nigerian Civil War was barely 3 months old, right? Nigerian soldiers advanced into Asaba, and the people of Asaba came out en masse to welcome them. They all wore white, carried green leaves, shouting, "One Nigeria, one Nigeria." But you see, days prior, the Biafra army led by Joseph Achuzia had blown up the Onisha Bridge, which meant the Nigerian soldiers not go fit easily advance into Onitsha. This pissed off the soldiers in Asaba, and without authorization from the federal government in Lagos, they separated the men and the boys from the women. These people who are dressed up in white to receive them and welcome them, shouting "One Nigeria," and they slaughtered all of them. One of the people killed in that exercise was the late Sidney Asiodu, who had represented Nigeria in the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Alas, Sidney could not run for his life. He died there. This battalion of soldiers were led by Colonel Moritala Mohammed. On October 8th of 1967, the few men who had not gone for that parade were rounded up. They dug mass graves and put all these bodies that had been executed the previous day, about 700 of them. And they made these young men to start to cover the graves with sand. One of the men in his account says as he was covering, he saw his brother. And the brother said, "Are you going to bury me alive?" And begged, because the brother was still conscious. But the soldiers were standing by, barrels cocked, and said, "Listen, go ahead or you die." With tears in his eyes, he proceeded and buried his brother alive with the other dead bodies there. This is a sad history in Nigeria, but don't take my word for it. These are not my stories. You can go and check University of South Florida Digital Library, the Asaba Memorial Project. Type it, or you travel, go there, you see for yourself, or you can read Blood on the Niger by Ima Okocha. Everything I said is there. It's 58 years ago this happened. Today, I just say, make I share some history with you now. Peace.